Welcome back to the Blister and Muck Storytime Podcast. I'm Jenny Mason, your host and the creator of the Blister and Muck series. When we left off last week, Blister was up in his bell tower with candles lit and nighttime descending. He was on the window ledge, looking at the ocean and the night sky as if they were food. This all rings a bell with you, right? Good, because after that episode, I came across a question that I've been burning to ask you. Maybe it's too soon in this series. Maybe you need to spend more time getting to know this story and these characters. I get that. At the same time, I feel like this question is worth asking right now. Why did the rat eat the candle? He wanted some light refreshment. Just so you know, I suggested opening this show with a joke about a rat trap, but my producers said no, because it required a cheesy setup. All joking aside, we left Blister at a rather dismal moment. He had just told his pet spider Spindle he was going to ask for help, and he was not happy about it. He did not want to forsake his one for one and none for all credo. When I was growing up, I didn't like asking for help. I thought, if I ask for things, then maybe people will think my family's poor. I also thought I wasn't allowed to ask for help because I made good grades in school. Being smart meant I should be able to figure everything out on my own. If I asked for help, well then, maybe I wasn't so smart after all. But in reality, asking for help is smart. It would have saved me time and effort and misery. So, how do you feel about asking others for help? Is it no big deal? Or does it depend on the help you need? Like, hey, can you help me open this stubborn pickle jar? That's an easy ask. But what about when you don't even have a jar full of pickles? What if you have nothing? How hard would it be to ask for help then? And what if there are people in your life who tell you asking for help is bad, or it's absolutely not allowed? I don't know about you, but I wish this was a world where anyone who needed it could ask for help and get the aid they need. Maybe this could be that kind of world if we went on a crusade. Whenever asking for help is discouraged, I say we turn renegade and ask anyway. Maybe we could practice with a bunch of our friends, and if we got really good, then we'd become a band-aid. Our best-selling song would be a serenade. Oh, I see what's happening here. My producers are going to fade the music in over this important message. Well, joke's on them. We will change the world, and then we'll have a big parade. Episode 3, The Assignment. The next day, Blister traveled to Madam Putreska's headquarters. Her secret domain was located in the banking district, crammed between the Blight Spill and Soot Spout, the ring and pinky fingers of the Black Rust River. Determined to avoid Dr. Van Sangfroid's electric rat traps, he rode on the luggage rack of a bouncing brougham carriage. Along the streets, hooves clattered like a drizzle of coconuts. Wooden wheels scraped and bumped over the lumpy cobblestones. Through gaps between the trunks and carpet bags, Blister watched porters zip through the traffic. They hefted handcarts and wheelbarrows of goods. Their trousers were shabby, waistcoats smudged, and their shirt sleeves rolled up to the elbows. They wore their flat caps tilted away from their sweat-beaded foreheads. The banks in the banking district resembled fancy frosted birthday cakes. Round cakes, square cakes, even domed cakes, their edges adorned with curling, coiling, filigreed trim. With soot tear-staining the white stone walls, the bank cakes seemed to leak grimy syrup. Gentlemen in gray suits with long coat-tails ventured in and out of the banks. They tipped their tall hats at one another. They let the swooping curls of their mustaches do all the smiling. Like exotic pollens, ladies in plump tasseled dresses glided along the sidewalks under dainty parasols. To exit the carriage, Blister leapt to one of the well-mannered curbside trees, thick with new leaves, blossom scent, and bird warbles. He shimmied down the trunk and dashed through the mowed lawns tongued around the XS Capital Bank. The words XS Capital Bank, established MDCC XLB, had been chiseled over and over in the stone banner belted around the building. The Roman numerals were meant to show everyone, everywhere, at all times, that XS Capital was the oldest bank in the city. Blister slid under one of the rectangular bushes crouched alongside the building. He entered a weathered hole in the wall and followed a network of tunnels as vast and winding as those in any ant colony. As he descended into the depths of the bank, chinks in the walls provided glimmering glimpses into the vaults and chambers flooded with oceans of coins and ranged with paper money mountains. Blister had no time for sightseeing. If he did not hurry, all the best assignments would be distributed. Down, down, deeper underground, the rat trekked. He soon reached the sub-vaults, which were actual caves where solid stone dripped like melted wax. According to legends I have heard, pirates used these caves to stash their stolen treasures. They entered through the tunnels they found in the cliff walls rimming the shoreline. At some point, the legends do not specify exactly when, the buccaneers turned into bankers. They built a bank above ground and used the caves for coffers. But after hundreds of years and almost as many fires, the bank had to be repeatedly rebuilt. Eventually, the caves and their treasures were forgotten as new foundations paved over them. Into these subterranean chambers came Madam Putreska, a rat who knew precisely how to convert one creature's loss into her gain. She ran a sophisticated creature rescue syndicate. Many animals sought her help because she freed creatures from captivity with the help of her opeRATives. Her reputation stretched beyond Blister's geographic knowledge. At last, Blister entered a cave snarled with a menagerie of animals. Macaws, macaques, pigs, porcupines, reptiles, raccoons, and so many more. In the middle of the vortex, Madam Putreska stood on the back of an enormous Galapagos tortoise. Like the spokes of a wheel, the many animals formed multiple lines radiating out from her post. To each animal at the front of the line, Putreska turned, gave a directive, and a dismissal. Next, an opeRATive escorted that animal out of the cave. Other opeRATives ushered the most recently rescued animals to the backs of lines. So, you were captured from the jungle and forced to be living as a pet? Madam Putreska's accent was a basket of rocks, hard T's and clacking K's. The loris she addressed managed a nervous nod. Now you are being escaped, and you are wanting to go home? The loris clutched his knobby fingers over his chest. At last, he nodded. Well, honey, I got to be honest. You are being like everybody else here. Madam Putreska fanned her arms around the massive chamber. You want what everybody wants. Why should I be helping you? What are you going to do for me? The loris gaped. His paws dropped. Before he could answer, Madam Putreska said, I tell you what you're going to do. You are going to go with Mr. Puss, see him there? Go with Puss and do a little favor for me, okay? And when you're done, we're taking you to a new home in a beautiful forest. It's not your jungle, but it's good place. You will find others like you, yes? Good? Okay, bye-bye. Next. She turned clockwise from the loris and proceeded to the next line. Puss led the loris away. Blister passed them on his stroll to the epicenter. Hey, Puss, he waved. Puss did a double take. What in the heck are you doing here? Having been born and raised in the honey-thick humidity of the South, Puss spoke in leisurely drawls. What everyone is doing here, searching for rare minerals. Puss flashed his only fang at Blister. Don't give a no trouble, you hear? When have I ever been trouble? Blister waved him off and slicked his way to the tortoise. Hiya, Fleet. Fleet chewed a wad of something or other. Like cows, tortoises always had something to mash in their beaked mouths. Fleet blinked at a tectonic rate. He craned his head toward Blister, and a smile gradually bloomed. Buenos dias, Blister. ¿Cómo estás? Can't complain. Thought I'd stop by and see if the little lady could use my help. Blister scritched around Fleet's neck, just where his heavy shell rubbed all day. Fleet's eyes shined brighter than egg-washed bread. She'll be muy glad to see you. No, she won't, but you're sweet for saying it. Blister climbed the hard shell. He snuck up behind Madam Putreska as she gave another decree, this time to a displaced peacock recently freed from a circus. When the peacock turned, his long tail feathers knocked the paws and claws out from under entire rows of animals. The creatures uprighted themselves, but fell to bickering when it came to reestablishing who had been where in line. With the whole cavern in disarray, Blister seized his chance. He reached around Madam Putreska's face, intending to tweak her slender pink nose. He didn't get far. Madam Putreska's martial instincts kicked in. She moved like a samurai in hand-to-hand combat, grasping his arm and chucking him forward. Blister flipped head over tail. All the air slapped from his body. Using his own arm like a staple, she pinned him to the pointy scoots of the tortoise shell. Gah! Blister wheezed. Ticks and maggots. It's good to see you too. What are you doing here? I am being very busy. Looks like a slow day to me. It would be if we weren't short-handed. One of my opeRATives is nowhere for being found. Uh-oh. Who? Ooze. Maybe you have seen her? Blister shook his head. Too bad. Now, what do you want? She casually twisted his wrist in a way that made his toes change color. Ow, 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 ow! Blister squirmed. Just a job. A one-day job with the promise of some grub at the end. Madam Putreska let him up. You are not needing jobs from me, you say. You are very capable rat, you say. You always be feeding yourself. Blister rubbed his sore arm. Yes, but I run a little short this week. Had an unexpected complication. He could not hold back a sneer when he thought of Butterball Muck causing him to lose his delicious apple. Madam Putreska grinned. Her eyebrow curled up. Complication? It's nothing. What complication? As she nudged closer with curiosity, Blister edged away. Nothing. Why don't you come work for me? Being an opeRATive will reduce your complications. Blister held firm. I'm not asking for anything fancy or special. Madam Putreska snorted. Her posture relaxed. Good thing, too, after last time. Last time? Oh, that was a simple misunderstanding. Simple misunderstandings do not cause entire buildings to be collapsing. For a moment, Blister thought she was going to chuck him through the air again. He backed away, keeping out of her reach. Come on, Putra. You can't blame poor construction on me. Besides, good old Blister always comes through. I always get the job done, don't I? Just tell me what needs done, and I'll do it. Blister extended his arms, as if preparing to hug whatever job she offered him. Madam Putreska scowled. By now, the lines had restored themselves, and creatures jeered Blister. Cuts! He took cuts! Cutter! I should be making you get in line. The back of the line, Madam Putreska said. Blister rolled out his suavest smile, which, for a rat missing 1 or 5 teeth, was pretty suave. You know I'll just sneak to the front. Fine, Madam Putreska exhaled. Go to the docks and be asking for a shrew named Big Jimmy. The way she said Jimmy made Blister grin. Do the job. Don't be collapsing any buildings, and you will get food. You are understanding me? Perfectly. And don't ever be sneaking up on me again. You know I am 8th degree black belt. Blister massaged his wrist. Oh, believe me, I know. He was about to leap off of Fleet's shell when an elephant's trumpeting call rang out of some large tunnel feeding into the cavern. All creatures covered their ears. Madam Putreska slumped. I told you it would get busy. Good luck, Blister said. He swooped to the ground, gave the Galapagos tortoise a final neck-scritching farewell, and exited the chamber before Fleet could say, Adi-os. Once again, thank you so much for listening. Tune in next time to find out what job Blister gets from Big Jimmy down at the harbor. Maybe he'll be asked to work in sales. Head over to blisterandmuck.com and use the contact form to share bad puns and jokes. Or let me know what you enjoyed in this episode, what surprised you, or what you think will happen next. Everyone can support the show by sharing it with friends on social media. Or take a moment to give the show a starred review on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Deezer, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you're in a position to give financially, just click Support the Show at blisterandmuck.com. Special thanks to composer Roland Rudzitis, whose tune, If Only Walls Could Speak, serves as the Blister and Muck theme song. Thanks also to John Bartman and Mon Plaisir for additional music. Daniel Simon provided the Drippy Cave sounds. Stock animal sounds came from Daniel Simon, Mike Koenig, Carolyn Ford, and Christopher at soundbible.com. As always, I am very grateful for my family, friends, and fans. One for one, and all for you.